Oh boy, I sure love catching Pokemon. The only time I have catched them all is in the new generation of Pokemon. See, here's my little diploma. So it made me want to go back and complete the Pokedex from previous games and see how the diplomas look in those. So I'm gonna start with Gen 1, of course, in red version. And here's a little breakdown of what we need to do. So we need to do multiple playthroughs, and that number is 2, not counting our main game. We need to get the opposite fossil, get the 2 other starters, select either Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee, as well as getting more Eevees for its evolution, 2 of them of course, and of course all the exclusives. So I'm gonna be starting here with my main save isle that I'm gonna use as the hub for everything. I'm gonna choose Charmander. Should have definitely gone for Squirtle, as Squirtle could probably speedrun the game easier than Charmander. Another thing that I noticed is that Charmander doesn't, well, what it evolves to Charizard, doesn't learn Fly. Yikes. Apparently it only learns it in yellow version. But, well, no choice in crying about it now. So, we are gonna do this little errand to get the Pokedex. Doesn't take long. In freaking newer games, it takes a while to get the Pokedex and catch stuff. And the weird part is that in newer games, there's a requirement to view the tutorial that's not optional, right? And I tell, this is how you catch them. And for this one, it's optional, and it's the funniest thing because you assume that the first game, is trying to ease people in and learning how to play the fucking game. Not in the newer titles, but yeah, in this one you could just like say no. I already know how to catch shit, and not do tutorial. So, anyways, we finally get the Pokedex and can finally start catching Pokemon here. So our first catch is a Rattata, followed by a Nidoran, a Spearow, and a Pidgey. Into this little forest here, we find a Kakuna, and a Weedle. So now the Caterpie line is a little bit harder to find in red version. So I'm either gonna go back and just hunt them in this version, or just catch them in the other version. After beating Brock, we buy the Magikarp from the guy in the Pokemon Center. We also find Jigglypuff right away. And in Mount Moon, we catch Zubat, and we need to make sure we find all the Moonstones in this area. We wouldn't probably need 3, 4 just in case. We don't find Wigglytuff in the other cave. Our Charmander evolves into Charmeleon. We find a Geodude, find a Paris. I was gonna use a Paris to help us catch stuff, but it learns a Spore like around late 20s, I think 25, 27, somewhere around there, and it doesn't learn a grass type move. So fuck it, we're gonna use somebody else. I think probably a Ghastly or a Drowsy, since they have Hypnosis. I do get the Clefairy counter, marking every single Pokemon here that we could find. Right outside of Mount Moon, we run into Ekans. Right outside of Cerulean City, after clearing the Nugget Bridge, we find Oddish, which is the version exclusive of Red. You find Blue. In Blue, you find what's his name? Bellsprout here, and we also find Abra. And I am gonna be using the trainer glitch to catch a Mew, since it's not the only Pokemon that's required to get the diploma or complete the Pokedex. but I have autism, so I need to have every single entry in it. And plus, Mew Surges are very good at Gem Slave since they can learn every single move. Right after catching Mew, we find the Metapod. We would just need a Caterpie now. And our Magikarp here evolves into Gyarados. So right after Misty's battle, our Sparrow evolves. And we find a monkey. And we complete all of Sazant and defeat, what's his name? The electric guy. And so we do catch Drowsy here. Catch Diglett and Doug trio. So now we go into this house and trade with this kid for a Mr. Mime, which is the only way to get him in this version. And we head to Rock Tunnel and we catch a Machop. And I could have sworn you could find a Cubone here, but I couldn't find one. So we finally get to Celadon City and get one of our first EVs. I'm gonna use this EV and make it into a Jolteon, just to make this playthrough easier. We would need to do to get to this section of the game 2 more times. So that's the good thing. We don't need to beat the game, but we will at least need to reach this point in the game. One for Vaporeon, another one for Flareon. And then we would need to at least get to Cinnabar Island just for resurrecting the fossil. So here in the Pokemon Tower, we catch Ghastly. We get the Pokeflute. And with that, we could finally catch Snorlax. So we finally make it to the worst part of completing the Pokedex right here, the Safari Zone. So specifically, there are 2 Pokemon that are exclusive here, Tauros and Kangaskhan, and not only are there 4% encounters, the catching mechanics here are a little bit broken. So like if you try to catch a Chansey here, not only is it 4% encounter, but it has a 53% chance to run away if you toss a rock, which in the first place makes them easier to catch, but more prone to flee. Although throwing bait lowers its flee rate to like around 6%, the catch rate would also be around that percentage, 6%. So the best way to catch Chansey is just to chuck Safari Balls without using the bait and the rocks. 13% capture rate, or you could just capture it in the Cerulean Cave, which would be better. But this is the only spot to catch Kangaskhan and Tauros, so I'll probably come back here later. Just here for surf, but now that we can surf, we could get to Seafoam Island and catch everything here. Just to save time, I make sure to catch everyone here from Horsey to Articuno. Before heading back to Saffron, we find Ditto. Our Charmander evolves finally. Charmeleon, whatever. Make sure to pick up Lapras here, and we get to choose Hitmonlee. In our other playthrough, we'll choose Hitmonchan. So right after beating Sabrina here, we're gonna head to the power plant and catch everything there. Electabuzz is the only way to catch this guy here, and of course Zapdos. And finally, we can resurrect our 2 fossils. From this playthrough, we chose the Helix fossil and the Amber fossil we picked up from Peter City. So this is in another playthrough in blue version, I'm going to go and get the Dome fossil. So the only thing left here is the Pokemon encounters here in the mansion, which is a Coughing, a Ponyta, a Growlithe, Grimer, and a Weezing. Now, we could find a Muk here, but it's a low encounter in our version, and it's just faster to either catch it in blue version or just evolve the Grimer that we found here. So we get our last 2 badges, and with a count of 60 out of 51, we battle the rival and fish up a Slowbro here for a future in-game trade. Here in Victory Road, we catch everything that we can find here. Not really much, but like a bunch of things that we missed. So like the Onyx and stuff. Of course, Moltres. So now that we beat the game, we have access to Cerulean Cave. And we're going to catch a bunch of Pokemon here. So we have Seaking, Alakazam, well, Kadabra, and we're going to make him into an Alakazam. Wigglytuff, Chansey, Dodrio, Rhyhorn, Electrode, Parasect, Raichu, Marowak, and of course Mewtwo. So I head back to the Safari Zone to find Kangaskhan and Tauros. We could find a Scyther here, and if we do, that would just be a bonus. So we could just buy him in the game corner. So, and of course there's still some Pokemon here that we could catch, and we catch everyone here except for Scyther. This took 5 hours just trying to not only get the encounters for Tauros and Kangaskhan, but damn, they ran away like a lot. They just kept running away. So I sometimes I would take different approaches. I'll be like, you know what, fuck it, this time I'm gonna throw a rock. Instantly runs away. So I just started chucking Safari Balls, and we finally catch both of them. So now we're gonna trade everything from exclusives to trade evolutions from our blue version. So now we gonna do some evolving. This also took a bit, but it wasn't as bad as the Safari Zone. So I spammed the Elite Four for a bit, with the experience shared. So sometimes I went to Cerulean Cave, and this is a good way to grind money as well for the evolution stones and for the game corner. Make sure to catch 2 Poliwhirl, one for Poliwrath and one for the in-game trade exclusive Jinx. Also went ahead and do the other in-game trades. So one for Farfetch, and I believe you could catch Tangela, but we might as well go and trade for a Tangela. Now to do the last cleanup, I never did find Cubone, so Cubone is actually found here in the Pokemon Tower. And with all the money that we grinded by from the Elite Four, we could afford to buy Porygon, and so we buy Porygon. And with a little bit of gambling, we get enough coins to buy Scyther. I forgot about Lincoln Tongues, so we had to do that in-game trade. So we sent in our Slowbro that we caught for a Lickitung. Now that we have a Lickitung, I forgot one more Pokemon, Venomoth. So I catch this one in Victory Road, and we did it. We finally catch all of them. Oh, I forgot to count Mew. So there we go, 151 out of 51, and we finally see the diploma. This wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It took around 40 hours, counting the playthrough of our blue version. I thought restarting the game for the starters, follows with an evolution, was gonna be the annoying part. But I would say it was the Safari Zone. I spent around 6 hours in total just catching everybody in there. And out of those 6 hours, 5 hours was just for 2 Pokemon. So maybe next time I'll do a Live Index, but in the yellow version. Or maybe perhaps I'll just move on to Gen 2. Let me know what would you like for me to do. Comment, like, and subscribe. And bye-bye.